Welcome children, continuity of the lesson Mother's Day by J.B. Priestley. Children, in my last class I told you that George told his wife about Doris Pearson who had been crying her eyes out upstairs. Let us see what happens now. Mrs. Fitzgerald wailing. Wailing means to cry or complain in a loud, high voice. To cry or complain in a loud, high voice. Oh dear, I ought to have known. Not the word ought to. Not the words. Not the expression ought to. Now, we hardly use this expression. We use should in place of ought to. I ought to have known. She expressed her desire that she should have known what was happening in her house. Mrs. Fitzgerald was real Mrs. Pearson. You should know this. You should not forget this. George, staring at her unwide. George seemed to be upset because of her interference. He looked at her. You ought to have known. He was surprised that she should have known what was happening in his house. Why ought you to have known? He wanted to know why she should have known. Nothing to do with you. He clearly told Mrs. Fitzgerald. He did not know that he was talking to his own wife. All was happening because of the effect of the spell created or used by Mrs. Fitzgerald. He did not know that he was talking to his own wife. He thought that he was talking to his neighbor, Mrs. Fitzgerald. He clearly told her that the matter had nothing to do with her. The matter was not connected with her. Look, we are at 6 and 7. 6 and 7. At 6 and 7. 7. It is a phrase. It's an idiom. What does it mean? Scattered. Everything was topsy-turvy in his house. And his neighbor had come to interfere. This he did not like. Just now, so perhaps you will excuse us. He wanted Mrs. Fitzgerald to leave his house. He did not want her to be present there when everything was topsy-turvy in his house. Mrs. Pearson, before Mrs. Fitzgerald can reply. Mrs. Pearson is real Mrs. Fitzgerald. Before real Mrs. Pearson could get an opportunity to say anything, Mrs. Pearson or Mrs. Fitzgerald interfered. I won't excuse you. She started talking rudely to George. She did not want to forgive him, excuse him. George Pearson. She used his name rudely. Next time a friend and neighbor comes to see me, just say something when you see her. She wanted George to say something or the other. Next time a neighbor came to their house. Good evening or how do you do? She wanted him to use the expressions like good evening or how do you do. Children, note here one thing. How do you do is a question. Its answer is also how do you do or something. An expression like that she wanted him to use. But her manner was rude while explaining these things to him. And don't just march in and sit down without a word. She did not want George to enter the room and sit comfortably without saying anything or silently. It's bad manners. She pointed it out to him that his manner was bad. He would show his bad manners if he sat inside the room, entered the room, and sat comfortably without saying anything. This would be considered a bad manner on his part. Mrs. Fitzgerald, nervously. Mrs. Fitzgerald, who was real Mrs. Pearson, she was nervous. Oh no, it's all right. She thought that everything was all right. She wanted Mrs. Fitzgerald to stop speaking. So she interfered. Mrs. Pearson, no, it isn't all right. Mrs. Pearson contradicted her by saying that nothing was all right. We will have some decent manners in this house. She wanted everyone in the house to show decent manners, nice manners, or I will know the reason why. And if someone failed to show his or her nice manners or decent manners, she wanted to know why he or she had failed to show his or her decent manners. Glaring at George. Glaring. Here I have written glare. To look at somebody in an angry way. To look at somebody angrily. Well, the use of the word well suggests that she wanted to confirm whether he had understood her words or not. George intimidated. I have written here the word intimidate. To frighten somebody. George seemed to be frightened. Well, what? He wanted to know what she wanted to say. Mrs. Pearson taunting him. Taunt, to try to say something unpleasant to somebody to make him or her angry. Tana marna, that you call in Hindi. Here she was going to show her, Mrs. Fitzgerald was going to show her sarcastic attitude, taunting him. Why don't you get off to your club? She was telling him sarcastically to go to the club. A special night tonight, isn't it? He had already told her that there was a special night that night. They will be waiting for you. She was being sarcastic when she told him that the people at the club were perhaps waiting for him, would be waiting for him, wanting to have a good laugh. People, according to her, were waiting for him at the club to have a good laugh. Go on then. They were ready there to make fun of him. She was encouraging him sarcastically, abating him sarcastically to go to the club. Don't disappoint them. She did not want George to disappoint the people who were waiting for him at the club to make fun of him. Her sarcastic remarks are pinching George bitterly. Now we find the presence of bitterness in his voice. That's right. He was also angry, upset. He said, what you are saying is right. Make me look silly in front of her now. Our neighbor is present here in the house. She has come. And you are making me looking like a stupid person in front of her. Go on, continue. Don't mind me. He did not whine. He did not want his wife to mind his presence. 6 and 7, he was very much upset. That is why he said, everything is topsy-turvy. Everything is upside down. 6 and 7, everything seems to be scattered. Nothing is good. Nothing, whatever is happening in the house is not good. Poor Doris, been crying her eyes out once again. He mentions the fact related to Doris, who had been crying her eyes out upstairs, getting the neighbors in to see the fun. And neighbors are being called to see the fun that is taking place here. In this way, he is talking to his wife, suddenly losing his temper. Suddenly, George lost his temper, glaring at Mrs. Pearson. He looked at Mrs. Pearson, who was Mrs. Fitzgerald. To glare, look angrily at. To look angrily at somebody. And shouting. He shouted, all right, let her hear it, all right. If you want her to hear, then it was all right. It's all right. What's the matter with you? He wanted to know what had happened to his wife. Have you gone barmy? Not the word barmy. B-A-R-M-Y. Barmy means mad. Crazy. Crazy. He thought perhaps his wife had gone balmy, mad, crazy. That's why she was behaving like that. Or what? Thank you, children.